What would you say about the treatment from the Ethiopians? How do you think they were? Did you feel welcome?
I feel very welcome.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, from the time, I mean, we really didn't. When we were taking the bags, trying to get the bags to the van, you know, you had a million kind of guys out there trying to help you get to the van because they were very poor and they wanted money, but they weren't trying to work, you know, trying to get something for you for free. They were willing to work. So, I mean, yeah, I was excited also. Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
It was just amazing to see. And their service. Yeah. I mean, they're willing, and something that I admired about the airport adventure, that the people were willing and ready, I mean, to serve, and they were polite, even though sometimes they would get a little pushy because they were really trying to offer their service.
Right.
And, you know, kind of like, unlike the States where people just laid back and kind of waiting on you to come to them, they were approaching you. And, you know, and they treated us, I mean, treated me like royalty. Yeah. It's like, I'm a king coming home.
I have to say, I really felt welcome because they kept thinking I was one of them.
Right.
Everywhere we went, they kept speaking to me in Amharic, and I'm like, no, right. English, American, and of course they're like, you look just like us. I'm like, okay, if you say so. So I definitely felt welcome the whole time. I want to talk about once you got your bags and you went to the hotel, you got a chance to relax and kind of scope the place out. Then what did you think? Do you have any different thoughts after your apprehensions? Did they go away?
Well, I was glad there was some civilization there because, you know, like I said, we really didn't know what to expect. And then once we got there, and the hotel was very nice, and the people had great manners, and like you say, they was willing to help us in any kind of way. I mean, I felt very comfortable, and I was happy that, you know, we weren't out in some hut somewhere and some sleeping bags and stuff that we thought about bringing. So it was very nice.
My thoughts were the same. I was looking to be in a village somewhere with wild animals coming up, and to get over there and find out they had a Hilton hotel in Addis Ababa, and that the people were, I mean, culturally somewhat on the same level and advanced than others, and in that type of area that we were in. I was very pleased with, you know, what we saw there.
Come to Criddle Financial for all of your tax preparation, filing, accounting, and payroll needs. We're located at 6926 East Shelby Drive at the corner of Riverdale in Memphis, Tennessee. Contact us at 375-1313. That's Criddle Financial, 375-1313. Criddle Financial, where executing accuracy and integrity is our specialty.
We're going to turn our attention now to the actual mission. We went in conjunction with the African Travel Association, which we tried to tie our mission trips in with. But while they were doing their business in the daytime, we were doing God's business. And so at the schools and this orphanage that we went to, and we saw 106 children who lived in a 3-room house, not 3-bedroom. We're talking about entire 3 rooms, and I think they're like maybe the size of our average child's bedroom. Right. They had several beds stacked up, and when you saw those faces of all those little children looking up at us, curious as to, okay, why are you here? What was your first thought, Dr. Smith?
I was amazed, and I was astonished of how the older lady that was over all of these kids, and how big her heart was, and how she accepted all these orphan kids, and they had nowhere else to go, and she just opened her arms and opened her heart for those kids to come in, and for us to come over there and provide a service. It was just wonderful. I mean, I really don't think words can explain it. You have to be there, and that's why this show is so important, so that we can bring more people in to be a part of it, because there's so much to do there. And it's just not about pulling teeth or doing hair, or it's just so many other things that can be done there. And passing the word on is one of the main things that we try to do also.
Pastor?
Boy, you know what amazed me was that I saw something that I have not witnessed ever in our country. People who were starving, people who were naked clothes-wise and living in poor conditions, had an opportunity to greet and meet people from a rich country, a rich nation, and they were in awe of us, and I was kind of like struck because they really welcomed us with apprehension at first until they really began to feel our heart. I understand so much now about missions that I didn't at first. You know, I'm used to preaching to people. I'm used to giving people a sack of clothes, a handout, an offering. But to really go and stay in a place where you're doing missions 24/7, almost, it was like they need to feel my heart. So we are in a situation where we don't really know how to react. And what we are doing, we're bringing a service. I'm a stylist. I've been a hairstylist for 24 years. And you know, I was amazed to see the children taking their braids down just to get a ponytail or to get a haircut or to get something that we call a simple style here in America, where everybody in America now is trying to go to braids just about to some extent. And here we had, I mean, children lining up, trying to get some hair grease and a brush ring, some lotion in their hair, and they loved it. They took advantage of the opportunity to get their teeth clean, and they welcomed us with open arms and open hearts, and it just touched me so much that, you know, we made a commitment that we would not forget them, and you know, that's why I'm here today, because I have not forgotten them, and I want to do what I can.
All right, I want you all to rate that experience with, let's see, some other highlight in your life, something that you thought was it. You know, compare this, your service over there, and just the whole experience.
To rate that experience would be almost like to give a hand to someone who could not help themselves, and the experience was that I needed the hand of God in my life at one point, when it seemed as though I was destined for doom, with no future, no hope, no dream. And God reached in and saved me, delivered me, brought me out, opened doors for me, made ways for me. And here I am in Africa with a group of people who are heart in the same place as mine, who's willing to give back to people what God have given them. And that was like, God have blessed me to be a blessing. And that was the most important thing that really stuck out with me, was that here I am, God had put me in a position to fly thousands of miles, hours upon hours of time in the air, and then get to the ground to work, to do a service, not to go and vacation. That impacted my life. I was placed in a position to serve and help someone who couldn't otherwise help themselves. And I mean, the giving out of the food and the beauty care, the hair products, the dental service, all of it was just amazing. The grace of God. It was compared, to answer your question, it was comparable to the grace of God in my life.
Okay. Dr. Spell?
I was in just awesome wonder of how God just took control of this whole journey from the first time we met all the way till right now. He guided us, he directed us through, he put us in the situations that we needed to be in, and he used us as instruments to do his will. And it was just awesome, and I just thank God for using us that way, and I just hope that he continue to use us that way.
Hear my cry, oh God, attend unto my prayer.
As a little girl, around the age of 3 years old, I remember watching my favorite TV program, The Shirley Temple Show. Also, I remember there were these commercials that interrupted my favorite show. They were care commercials, so I really didn't mind the interruptions. As I would watch them, I was overwhelmed.